Well, everybody, hi, I'm Peter, Peter's Living Room here on the World Entertainment Information Network. And it's been a great Thursday, as they all are, as I broadcast from the TransMedia building on the outskirts of beautiful downtown Boca Raton. And we're moving forward with a great array of guests. And I have with me right now the founder and CEO. Is that right?
Yes, I am the founder.
All right.
We sound much older, but that's okay.
Then that's okay. I'm younger than you, and I'm the founder of my company. So the founder and CEO of TransMedia Group, Tom Madden. And welcome. I know you came in special to sit down with me today.
Well, I just want to say, Peter, you brought an element of excitement into our premises here. And I've never met so many wonderful people that are passing through, appearing on your show, and then coming out full of exhilaration.
Right.
I don't know what you do to people in these interviews, but
it's the drugs that you put in the air through the air vents. I don't know, or it's the water. I don't know.
And also the women. They come into the show and they leave the show more attractive. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. And it's not 2 a.m. either.
That's right.
And they look well. Yeah. You know what? I'm happy to be here. It's a symbiotic relationship. I'm getting to meet a bunch of people that come through TransMedia, and in turn, you're meeting people that come through the WEI network. And I've always been a believer in you never know who you're going to meet and where you're going to meet them. And I have met some integral people in my career at the most unexpected places and times. And, that holds true, regardless of where you are. You can't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
we're living in a very complementary world that, good fits in business and entertainment, getting the right star, getting the right backing, the location, and the same thing in business. For example, we have this talent division of our company.
Right.
I always thought it was a great fit for a PR firm, and it's starting to show, that promise.
Right.
And now I'm seeing more opportunities for complementary synergies, and that's why we're very excited to open this new office of TransMedia in Dallas.
Right, which when you told me you're opening in Dallas, and in my head it's like, not New York, not L.A., and then I'm thinking Dallas. There is such big business that goes on in Dallas. It's a logical place to open.
It really does work, and it's a bit of irony too, and good luck. Just luck is part of, part of every equation. You need luck and timing.
Yeah.
So anyway, I met online. I met on the services that we are using, and I ran into this wonderful lady, Dawn Kimball.
Mm-hmm.
And what attracted me initially was, of course, how beautiful she is.
Right.
I mean, she's striking.
Yeah, I've seen a picture.
Yeah,
yes.
Very striking. And her twin sister is equally beautiful. They are amazing. Yeah. These twins.
Are they identical or?
Very close to identical.
Okay.
I know.
So the average person would think they look alike.
They look very much alike. One is more beautiful than the other, and I don't know which one is which. But anyway, so Dawn, interestingly, she's from Texas, but she came to Boca Raton and worked here for a while, and actually was the chairman of the American Cancer Society here in Boca Raton.
Uh-huh.
And raised quite a lot of money for the association. So she spent a couple of years here. She said they were very happy, productive years, but she missed Texas and went back home.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then when I ran across her on LinkedIn initially, we became connected, and we started conversations and so forth. And then I started to think of Dallas, and I started to think of the wealth down there.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that wealth is not being used to its maximum right now with the doldrums of the oil and gas business.
Yeah.
So I thought this would be, everybody wants an office in New York. Sure, that's great. We want a presence. We actually do have a presence in New York, but not a full office. But I thought that Dallas would add something. And, a lot of our clients are looking for capital. And this benefits not only our firm, but many of our clients who are looking for capital, because she has a connection with a private club in Dallas that is an amazing place. They're the richest people in the area, and they like to frequent this private club. And we're already planning some presentations,
What
some
goes
business
on
plans.
in the club stays in the club.
Right, business plans and so forth. And I made a deal today with a guy out in California who's got some entertainment properties. He owns an online thing called Dialogue Net, something like that. But anyway, there are a lot of actresses from all over the world, producers from all over the world, very private. And so he's got some shows in development. He's got some scripts and so forth. So we talked about a script that I just did that I'm interested in marketing. It's based on an Elon Musk character, and it's called Extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial, the word
terrestrial.
Now, extraterrestrial, but this is extraterrestrial,
right?
With the car,
Elon
the Tesla,
Musk, right?
So anyway, the premise is, is a guy like him modeled on his character who's building these, electric cars in the heart of oil and gas country. And there's a lot of people
got to be beloved to them.
Yeah, not too happy about it. So there's some conflict and some rivalry, and it's got all the elements, the juicy elements of a TV series. So anyway, my friend in California and I, we're going to go to Dallas and present some of these ideas, including my own, premise for a TV series. So anyway, it's very exciting to have this new office, and I tell you the truth, I bought some full-page ads in probably the most coveted publication in Texas, and that's the Dallas Cowboys Souvenir Book.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. People go crazy over this, and also the Houston Astros.
It's a religion.
Yeah, Houston Astros. I mean, the teams, they're not in their the peak right now as they once were, but basketball, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's big town. So it's a sports loving town. And so we're buying these full page ads and announcing our, locating there and so forth. I'm starting a division called TransMedia Texas. And I might even design a separate site for it. And so
TMT,
forth. But, yeah. I tell you, it's exhilarating, and Dawn is so excited, and she knows everybody who's anybody in that town.
And what kind of business, other than the script and the oil, what kind of businesses are you looking for, or do you think you could be a benefit for the most?
Well, one of the best businesses is of course this disruptive this business that Stephen Dong was he on your show? I don't know. He's the guy from China who's going to Kevin Dong. He's going to
the auto thing.
He's going to disrupt the auction business and autos. He's bringing digital technology to this thing. He's got a great business plan.
And when he rolls that out for the individual,
right,
it's going to be huge.
It's huge.
It's huge for the industry,
right.
But when it hits the individual, it's going to put the CarMax type and off lease. It's going to hurt them.
Absolutely, it's an app. And you don't have to go to some auction now and spend hours and time and maybe buy a lemon because there's not enough time to really thoroughly inspect. He guarantees everything. Everything is assessed and examined. So it takes a lot of the guesswork out of the auction business, and millions and millions of cars go through that.
Yeah.
And it's a billion-plus industry, and he's going to change the whole nature of it. But he needs, he's looking for $5 to $15 million.
Right.
So we're going to go down there and meet a lot of Texans.
All right.
And tell them about the
going to wear your boots and your hat.
Absolutely. So those are the kinds of deals that I think are ripe for peeling out into that market.
Well, if you ever want to feel out of place, when I first moved to South Florida, I went to meet somebody I had gotten friendly with. They wanted me to meet at this restaurant. And it's out in the rural area of Palm Beach County. And I drive up, and I'm a Jewish kid from New York, you know. I drive up, and I park the car, and I'm looking, and it's like, there's got to be 150 vehicles here. I'm the only car. Everybody else is a truck. And I walk into the restaurant, and I'm looking around, and it's like, I may be the only person in sneakers not wearing boots. So it was definitely what a big city boy would call a redneck restaurant. Had a lot of fun, but definitely felt like a fish out of water.
Well, I lived in Texas as a child. My dad was a violinist, and we would travel all over the country. He was a concertmaster at Cleveland Symphony Orchestra. He played for the Boston Pops. He traveled everywhere, and he took his family with him.
Okay.
I even went to Mexico City, but I lived in a place called Galveston.
Oh, wow.
And
it's right off the border.
Absolutely. And he played at this private club, San Maceo's, very famous private club. They had gambling and back room and all that. So, and as a kid,
another sip of wine.
No, but as a kid, I remember, I have fond memories of Texas. And as a kid, I would go to school, and the first thing you do after you pledge allegiance and everything is you sing "The Stars Are Bright." Da 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 da.
Oh, really?
Deep in the heart of Texas,
really?
Every morning. I mean, people love where they're living.
Right. Well, Texas is their own country.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful place, and I'm exhilarated, and so is my team here to be having that outlet and that platform in Texas.
Yeah. So I want to go back. I want to go back. The fact that you're opening up in Texas, in the Dallas area, I think is huge. I think it's a great move, and it's a great location. And it sounds like you have the right person heading it up there for you.
Can we talk about my property, extraterrestrial?
Without a doubt.
Oh, let me just get to that, because thinking of Texas, it stimulates the creative side of you. And all of a sudden, I'm thinking of this Elon Musk. He just discovered a saboteur within his ranks, and he's playing with the digital technology. He's giving away secrets, allegedly. Mm-hmm. It's a big thing, and Elon Musk is very upset about it. So I said, well, let me create a TV series with a character based on Elon Musk, who is building these electric cars right in the heart of oil and gas country. And that's not going over well. So I have assembled all these characters, and I see the interplay between them. There's some bad guys, and there's some very, high-end, people, very Dallas sophisticates. So it's got all the elements of a Dallas. Remember the series, Dallas?
When we were talking before, I kept saying this is like the new revised version of Dallas. Instead of the South Fork Ranch, it's going to be the car company.
Yes, and it's got everything, and it's got a traitor, and it's got saboteurs, it's got spies. You know how much we're into spies these days. Yeah. And there are spies all over this character who's building these electric cars, because they want to put him out of business, and some of them want to put him out of life. So it's got a lot of drama to it. But this guy, he's relentless, and his ex-wife, she's very caring about him, and she made a big settlement. She's got lots of money. She's a big, sophisticated lady now, thanks to him.
Right.
So the interplay of
she doesn't have to go back to dancing with the pole, huh? Okay.
She's made it forever, and then the guy has a son, almost like Donald Trump Jr. Yeah. This guy will do anything for his father, anything, and I mean anything! Exclamation point. So the characters here are so loyal and so disloyal, and the conflict between them, I think, is going to make great television. So anyway, I'm talking to my friends in Hollywood, and we're already thinking about maybe making a presentation in that private club in Dallas with all these billionaires, and I think we could easily get enough money to put this onto put this
produce
produce it. So it's exciting. It opens up a lot of new chapters and doors and so forth, and it's so much fun to be involved with people who are so enthusiastic.
Right.
And I love things that are starting. That's when you get the most energy, the most excitement.
Oh, yeah.
And if you could sustain it long enough for it to pay off, you got it made. So I'll have another winner. And just like having this building with a show like yours, emanating from here, and can't tell you how thrilled I am.
All right, good. Well, before we end our conversation, I just want to say one thing, and I've said this over and over again to various different people in different fields. When your car breaks down, you go to a mechanic. Generally, you don't try and fix it yourself. When you don't feel good, you go to a doctor. If your eyes aren't working right, you go to an ophthalmologist, an optician, whatever. You go to a professional in your field. If you're a business owner, and granted, there's a lot of social networking and optimization that people can do on their own. But if you really want it to click, you got to go to the professional. You got to go to the PR and marketing of somebody that you've got a synergy with, that understands what you do. And, case in point, and I've done stuff with you over the last, 6, 7 years on and off before we started doing the show regularly here. And, that's what I hear about TransMedia is, you're the place to help people get on track and get noticed.
Well, there's a lot of BS in my business too, and everybody makes these promises, and I always hear from people, "Oh, I've tried PR, I was burned, and I spent some money." But I tell you, over the years, I've made a lot of people very successful and also very wealthy. Take a guy like Carl DeSantis. I mean, when he started Rexall Sundown in his bedroom, selling mail order dietary supplements, and then all of a sudden he opens Sundown Vitamins, and then he marries Rexall to it, and he brings me in, and I started to crank out the publicity and getting him on all the shows and everything, and into the spotlight. And his products became the #1 sellers in the years they were introduced. And he winds up 10 years after meeting me selling his company for $1.6 billion. And he will tell you right now, if he was here right now, he would say, he didn't do a lot of advertising, but he loved publicity.
Yeah.
Loved it. It really worked because it's third parties.
Right.
It's not beating yourself on the chest.
Right.
It's somebody else saying how wonderful you are.
Right.
So thank you for the plug.
All right. Way to go. I'm talking with Tom Madden, founder, CEO of the TransMedia Group and future Hollywood producer or TV producer. Now, you started years back. Was it back in the 80s you were with Fred Silverman?
Yeah, I was in the 80s. I was #2 at NBC. I was right-hand vice president, assistant to the president. I had this long title, vice president, assistant to the president. That was my whole title. And the president then was Fred Silverman, who was a wonderkind of television.
Right.
A lot of people may not remember him, but he in his day, he was the master.
He was the genius.
He brought ABC, where I met him. I used to write all his speeches at American broadcasting companies, and he made ABC #1.
Yeah.
Before that, he made CBS #1,
right.
Then moved to ABC and made ABC #1, and then moved to NBC, and we couldn't get out of third place.
Oh, wow.
So you did it twice.
Yeah, 2 out of 3. Play the percentages.
But that was it. But anyway, we had fun. We made a lot of money. There were only 3 networks then, and we all were making billions of dollars. All
right. Well, thanks for spending a few minutes with me.
My pleasure.
And you're listening to Peter's Living Room. It's Thursday from the TransMedia building in beautiful downtown Boca Raton. Stay with us. We're going to take a break. We got more afternoon to go. And don't forget, Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m., Peter's Living Room, and Thursdays from 12:15 to 4 o'clock, right here on WEINetwork.com. Don't go away, everybody. We will be back shortly.